Okay, ladies, for the sake of time, we're actually going to go ahead and get started. For those people that are coming in, they'll come in as they please. I would like to welcome you again to GULU Glow Up, Level Up Women's Healthcare Series, Self-Care Series. And tonight we have a special guest for you, but we're going to go ahead and start our program.
Raise your standards and the universe will meet you there. Self-care is giving the world what's best of you, not what's left of you.
Life is too short to wait.
When you know better, you'll do better. Raise your standards and the universe will meet you there. Because when you glow up, you level up. Level up. Glow up, level up.
Level up.
When you glow up, you level up.
When you know, you will grow. Join us on glowuplevelup.com for a series on how to take care of you. Welcome everyone again. If you're just tuning in, welcome to GULU's Glow Up, Level Up Women's Self-Care Series, Taking Care of You. My name is Dr. Liz Adi. I am the creator and founder of GULU. So why GULU? Why was this created? GULU is an organization that provides a platform to encourage and promote holistic growth for women by providing access to experts in the health and beauty industry to learn, to grow, and glow up. I really wanted to provide a space for us women to come together and just be able to get advice from experts on many different things that can help us take care of ourselves. Tonight, you're in for a real treat. We have with us one of our glow experts, none other than Jasmin Monay. She is a licensed cosmetologist and trichologist. She currently resides in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I am super excited to hear from her tonight. I'm going to be taking my notes. So if you don't have a pen and pad, you're going to want a pen and pad handy for this particular session. Jasmin, marked by grace and destined for greatness, she is a humble spirit, passionate about change. She is the owner of Salon 2911 and Transformation Hair Loss and Wellness Spa. She is a writer, an actor, a speaker, and she was crowned Miss Black USA in 2014. Meet Jasmin Monay, a graduate of the University of North Carolina at Charlotte with a bachelor's in broadcasting and mass communications, as well as a graduate of Liberty University with a master's in human services and executive leadership. Her experience has allowed her to be exposed to new ideas, new personalities, and most of all, mature into the vibrant young lady she is today. Her motto, the next time you think of beautiful, count yourself in. Help me welcome our glow expert, Jasmin Monay.
Hello, everyone. What's going on? What's going on? Normally, when I do these Zoom calls, I tell everybody to turn their video on because I like to see people's faces instead of looking at black screens. So if you don't have your hair all wrapped up and laying down in the bed, if you want to turn on your video so I can see your beautiful faces, that would be great. Wonderful. So thank you so much, Liz, for the opportunity. I keep thanking you for it because I think this platform is amazing. And I think women in general like the idea of being able to just take a second for us. Self-care is the best care. It sounds cliche, but it really is amazing. And everybody needs to do it because it will eliminate a whole bunch of stress. And stress leads to hair loss. And we don't want those issues. So I'm going to be giving you a little bit of the backside of hair care and scalp care tonight. I promise I will try not to get super deep, but there's a lot more to hair care than just lace fronts and closures, okay? No shade. Next slide, please. So we kind of went over a little bit about me, just to let you know I am a licensed cosmetologist in the state of North Carolina and Florida, and I am a certified trichologist by way of National Trichology Training Institute in Stockbridge, Georgia. So I'm not just a random person giving you guys information. So that's just a little bit about me. And then at the end of the slides, I'll let you know ways in which you can connect with me as well as make an appointment. If you are in the Charlotte area or if you're across the United States, we take global visitors too. So come on back. Next slide, please. Okay, so let's start with something super basic. I hear it all the time. I cannot afford to take care of my hair. I can't afford to go to the salon because it's so expensive. So let's just add it up really quickly. And I've used this moniker before in some of my other presentations, but Chick-fil-A, if you're eating for one, just on average, it's about $10. Bojangles about $9. Cookout, you know, it used to be $4 and I think 36 cents back when we was in school, and it went up now. So it's more than that, especially if you want to get a double burger tray and all the extras. I don't know why, but it's going to be around $6, right? Now, if you're eating for two, you have to double that. So on average, you're going to be spending anywhere between $120 to $240 a month on food alone. I calculated one time Postmates last year before I was delivered, Jesus. I spent between $500 and $600 on Postmates in 1 month. Don't judge me, okay? I have been delivered. But the point of the matter is you can afford to take care of your hair. Even if you're only doing a maintenance visit every 4 weeks to every 6 weeks to make sure that you're getting that treatment and that trim, it's more than possible to take care of your hair. You just need to make it a part of your budget. So I want you to keep that in your mind as I'm going forward into this presentation. Next slide, please. How many of you, just by either tapping your camera real quick, waving at me, have heard of a trichologist before? One. All these no cameras. It's okay. Thank you, Stella. I haven't heard from before. So in a nutshell, a trichologist is a medical practitioner who specializes in hair loss, scalp disorders, and diseases. Okay, and a cosmetologist is a licensed professional who operates in cosmetic enhancements to the hair, or you have to the skin, whether they're waxing or they're doing microblading or things like that. And then you have what we like to playfully call kitchen-ticians, who just like to do hair here and there, but aren't necessarily licensed. Okay. So you have a trichologist who is the middleman between the cosmetologist and the dermatologist. If you're dealing with any kind of hair loss issues, scalp disorders such as seborrheic dermatitis, pityriasis, then you would need to see a trichologist, because we look at it from a holistic point of view, and we want to make sure that you understand the wellness aspect of hair growth and scalp disorders. For example, if you eat a lot of salt, if you eat a lot of sugar, all of that is coming out on your scalp. A lot of people don't realize you can have yeast infections on your scalp. Well, and I've seen it, and it looks pretty disgusting. Just throwing that out there. But it comes from everything that you eat, okay? So you have to make sure that what you're eating is conducive to your digestive system and your whole makeup. And we'll get a little bit more into that in the later slides. So when you come into Transformation Hair Loss and Wellness Spa, and by the way, you don't have to just come if you're experiencing hair loss, if you want scalp exfoliations, if you want to get your blood type, pHing, or if you just want to have a scalp scan, those are some of the services that trichologists can offer and that we offer in the clinic. A lot of people have never seen their scalp under a microscope. And it's pretty amazing, because you'll be able to identify how many hairs are coming out of one follicle, why one area of your hair may be thinning and the other one is not. And then we also have what we call a hair check in the clinic, to where we have a little device that basically measures the density in 4 different areas of your hair, because a lot of times we'll have clients that say, oh my God, my hair is not growing. It's growing, it just may not be growing at the rate that you want it to grow. So we use this device to create a table to track the growth of your hair. So let's just say the average hair growth on your hair around the crown area, let's just give it a random number. Let's say it's 64. And then the next 90 days when we do another check, I'm like, wow, it's shot up to 70. That will show you that your hair has grown. But in the other case, if we take it the first time and it's 64, and then I check again and it's down to 59, some of the questions I'm going to ask is, has there been any stressful events that have happened in your life the last 90 days? Have you experienced any kind of medical diagnosis? Are you taking any new medication? Are you stressing? Something is happening internally that has caused your hair to begin to thin or for your hair to start to fall. So those are some of the things that trichologists do versus cosmetologists. Cosmetologists focus more on the external beauty and making sure you look good. Trichologists make sure that you feel good to ensure that you can look good later. Okay, next slide. Now, a key takeaway, if you don't remember anything else that I say on this Zoom, just remember, optimum hair growth is supported by a healthy diet and lifestyle. And when I say diet, I don't mean these fad diets where you do it for every 2 to 3 weeks. I mean the way in which you are eating on a day-to-day basis. I don't necessarily like to say, oh, let's try this quick diet. I want it to be a lifestyle change. So what I'm doing today, I can withstand for the rest of my life. So just, I love bread. Like, bread is from heaven and they're going to have it when I get there. Okay. But it's terrible for me, especially for my blood type. I shouldn't be eating bread or dairy. But realistically, I'm not cutting bread out of my diet. I'm just going to be honest. So I have to learn how to slowly cut back or use other options. But be realistic. If you need a day to just, listen, I'm just going to go free for all. Take it. Let's be realistic, but let's do things in moderation. So make sure you keep that in mind. Hair growth is going to come from a well-balanced diet and lifestyle. Okay, next slide. So I'm going to bring in some of the scientific aspects of it. Stay with me. I'm going to break it down super easy for you. Okay, and if you have questions, just write them down and we'll get to it as soon as we finish up this presentation. Now, there's 2 types of hair on your head. You have vellus hair, and that's found on the edges. Now, I would show you, but you know, I got this unit on right now, and y'all can't see me looking like that, okay? So just bear with me. Now, the vellus hair is on the edges, okay? It's thinly, fine, shallow-rooted hair, which is why we notice, especially in the African-American community, because of the types of styles that we like to wear, that's where you find traction alopecia. That's where you find, ooh, child ain't got no edges, because it's very shallow rooted. And any kind of pulling, any kind of tension, any kind of braiding where they're braiding your thoughts and your eyes is all the way back to your ears, that's what's going to cause you to lose those edges, okay? It's also known as peach fuzz. So it's around the edges and around the nape of the hair. The second type of hair you have is terminal hair. This is the hair that's going to be a little bit more deep rooted. It's going to be thicker and it's going to be closer to those blood vessels, which causes it to be primed and prepped to grow longer and thicker. This is the hair that can be chemically treated, can be cut, and really is going to be in the middle area of your hair, okay? So take care of the vellus hairs because we lose them very easily. The terminal hair you want to take care of too, but you really want to make sure that your edges and the nape of your hair is taken care of. All right, next slide. So how exactly does your hair grow? And I see this all the time in the salon. I'll hear the, oh my God, my hair is not growing. Oh my God, I feel like my hair is at a standstill. Not exactly. Okay, there's 4 different, technically there's 3 phases of hair growth, and you can remember that by the word act, anagen, catagen, and telogen. But there's also another phase that there's there, but we don't really talk about that much. It's the exogen phase. So remember, every single hair on your head is on a different growth cycle. Okay, so that's why it may seem like one part of your hair seems to be longer or thicker versus another part of your hair, because every single strand, and you have a lot of strands, is on a different growth cycle. So the first growth cycle that every single part of the hair goes through is the anagen phase. Just think of this as the growth phase. It's going to stay within this phase from about 2 to 7 years, consistently growing, consistently growing. At some point, the hair says, you know what? Let's transition. So it's going to go to the catagen phase. It stays in this phase about 3 to 7 weeks. it's just kind of chilling out. Like, okay, you know, I'm tired of growing for a second. Let me just chill. Then they get to the telogen phase. This is where it just rests. And you'll notice on your hair, especially for my ladies that are transitioning, that are natural, you'll notice that it's more on the ends of the hair where it's almost a break. So you'll have the roots, you'll have the mid shaft, and then you'll have the ends. And they seem a little bit scraggly right before they split. So at that point, it's kind of just resting. And then after that point, it goes to exogen, and that's the shedding phase. Sometimes we tend to think that our hair is shedding profusely because when we comb it, we'll see strands of hair. Hair sheds naturally from 100 to 120 hairs per day, depending on the density of your hair. That's natural shedding. So when I have clients, it's like, oh my God, my hair's falling out. No, sis, it's just the natural shedding process. It'll be okay. Now, if you start combing your hair and globs of hair is coming out, then we have an issue. But if it's just a regular, let me comb my hair and I see some strands, you're okay. 9 times out of 10, you're just going through the exogen phase and it's naturally shedding. And once it goes through that phase, the cycle starts right back over. Okay, but anytime that I have clients that are dealing with excessive shedding, I'm automatically going to tell them you need to go see your physician because something is not right on the inside. Now, normally when I bring them in for their consultations, I can tell automatically if it's simply just stress. Stress is a serious killer, okay? So make sure, as hard as it may be, you have to find an outlet to ensure that your stress levels are balanced and they're not exceeding, because the more that you stress, the more that your hair is going to fall out. Quick tip. The hair is the number one thing that takes the hit and the sacrifice for the rest of our body. And people don't realize it. And there's a scripture in the Bible, and I'm not going to just push this off on you, but there's a scripture in the Bible that talks about the hair is your crown and your glory. And it truly is, because scientifically, we don't need hair. So what happens is, it's so amazing how the body was created. What happens is that there's an issue going on with your kidney. Instead of sending those nutrients to your scalp and to your hair, because we don't need hair, it's going to snatch those nutrients and it's going to go towards the kidney so it can correct itself. The body tries to automatically correct itself without us even realizing it. And by the time we start to feel the pain and the issues, the issue has probably already been going on for a good amount of time. It just naturally tries to correct itself. Right. So instead of shooting those nutrients to the scalp to continue to produce that new hair, it goes to where it's needed. So your hair always takes the hit first. That's why I always urge my clients and my patients, pay attention to your hair. It will give you the answers that you need. But a lot of times we just like to wear those protective styles, throw it up in a bun, leave it and forget it, do a wash and go. And by the time we really realize that our hair is shedding and something's going on, it's almost too late. Pay attention. Even when you're going to your stylist, please, please, please don't be one of those clients that's just like, they turn you around away from the mirror, they braid you down, put in a sew-in, all right, sis, see you in about 6 to 8 weeks. Don't do that. Make sure that they are inspecting your scalp, make sure that they're inspecting your hair, because if not, it almost will be too late, and then you'll come sit in my chair and I'm just look at you and be like, ooh, I hope you like wigs. Okay, let's not do that. Next, please. This is probably my favorite part because your blood type is so important. By a raise of hands, just wave at me. Who knows what their blood type is? Wonderful. Okay. If you do not know what your blood type is, come on over to Transformation Hair Loss and Wellness Spot and we'll hook you up. Okay. The reason you need to know your blood type, not only because, well, if you ever need blood, you just need to know, but also because depending on what your blood type, it will determine the type of foods that you should be eating. Okay, I am blood type O, I'm O positive. We are meat eaters. We love leafy greens, but dairy and bread is terrible for us. And what happens if you start to eat those foods that are not conducive to your blood type? It starts affecting your digestive system, okay? My sister, which is actually on, what's up, girl? My sister and my mom are B positives. B blood types should not be eating chicken. My mom loves chicken, but what happens is it starts to cause inflammation in the body, causes aches and pains, because it's just not meant for your digestive system to have. So depending on what your blood type is, it will help you alleviate those foods that are really going to get in the way of proper and healthy hair growth, and making sure that your scalp is conducive to promote and produce that hair growth. And understand that without a healthy scalp, you really can't have healthy hair. They go hand in hand. So some literature that is great, if you guys want to look up, that they have on Amazon, is Eat Right for Your Blood Type. I use this specifically for all of my patients in the clinic, as well as my clients, to just let them know that there's different recipes, different excerpts that will help you identify how you can eat better. And the good part about it is you can shed some pounds if you want to lose some weight. Another good one that I picked up the other day is Food Can Fix It. And this will probably go along with one of our other glow experts when she starts talking about the organic products. A lot of the issues that are going on in your body, you can simply fix from what you eat and how you eat. And you don't have to turn to medications, pharmaceuticals, because that's a whole nother story that's really just kind of killing us all. No shade to any doctors out there. Liz, I love you. Just saying.
No worries.
Next, please. Mike, last to you. I'll put it in the chat as well.
Okay, next slide.
Yeah. Okay.
So we have reached the end of Jasmin's presentation. We want to take a time to allow you guys to enter into a giveaway. If you're not familiar, you can subscribe to our website. The giveaways that we're giving away tonight is either or the scalp antiseptic, or a service called Invigorating Scalp Exfoliation done by Jasmin at her salon, 2911, correct, Jasmin?
Yes.
So you get to meet her, and she can perform this service for you if you are within Charlotte, North Carolina. If you are out of state, unfortunately, we would mail you the scalp antiseptic. But if you'd like to enter for this particular giveaway tonight, go ahead and head over to our website, subscribe to our email, and we will have a random winner that will be emailed shortly after our session tonight. So, and we're going to continue. I believe we're going to open up the floor, Jasmin, for questions. If you have any questions, I ask for you to type it in the box or raise your hand. I can unmute you. I'm going to lower a few hands. We're going to try, if you don't have any noise in your background, I can unmute you so you can ask it directly, or if you cannot, please type it in our chat box, and we'll try to get our question and answer session going. While we're waiting for, let's see, where's our chat box? Let me see. There it is. Sorry. Got a couple questions for you, Jazz. Okay, so what do you do for lupus-related hair loss?
Ooh, that's a good question. So with lupus or any kind of disease that you may be going through, and let me caveat this by saying any question that you ask me in regards to blood pressure, in regards to high cholesterol, in regards to chemotherapy, lupus, or anything like that, I can't necessarily give you a specific answer because everybody's body is different. For that particular situation, I would bring you into the clinic. We would do an in-depth consultation to identify the medications that you are currently already taking. I would need to get some lab work from you, from your primary care doctor, your physician, to identify what exactly is going on in your body. Based upon that, we would then tailor the treatment plan to help with you. The biggest aspect of hair loss is not, you can't just put a product on your hair and expect it to grow. A lot of people want, especially in this society, want that microwave real quick. Let me take something, put up some drops on my scalp, and my hair is just going to grow down my back. It does not work like that. We try to tailor it specifically to you and incorporate a number of outlets to assist with that. from supplements that you may be missing, from doing the scalp scans to see what area is infected, to also doing ozone treatment, as well as changing up what you're eating, making sure that you're getting enough rest and you're doing those physical workouts that are needed to encompass a holistic full person concept. So lupus is one of those situations that really have to be tailored to the person. So it would start with doing an in-depth consultation, because we can't just say, oh, okay, we'll take this, because what I may subscribe to you may conflict with the medication for what you're taking for lupus, and then we have a bigger issue to deal with, and I don't need that kind of lawsuit.
All right. The next question is, should we comb or brush regularly? What would be a good regimen to follow?
Yes. That's a great question. That's another issue that a lot of people tend to do when I see. I'll have some clients that say, oh, I didn't shampoo my hair but once every 6 weeks or once every month, because people are really on this co-washing thing. No shade, but I'm just saying, would you only wash your body with lotion? Nope. Okay, so I'm gonna need you to shampoo your hair. Okay, but a good regimen would be to make sure that you're at least using a wide tooth comb to comb out any of the tangles or the knots, because anytime the hair gets matted together, that's what's going to cause breakage. So a good regimen would be, depending on how much you sweat and how much you work out and your lifestyle, I would say at least shampoo your hair at least once every 2 weeks or once a week. Really detangle and deep condition after you shampoo. Always deep condition when you shampoo, and then use a moisturizer, a water-based moisturizer, because our scalp and our hair loves water. A water-based moisturizer to put on your hair, and then style per usual. But even if unless your hair is in a protective style like braids, but if it's out in its natural state, comb through your hair and brush through your hair. You don't want to get it matted, and then you don't want to clog out the pores of the scalp.
Awesome. Jasmin, what about for treatment for seborrheic contact dermatitis, the correlation to inflammation? What treatment would you recommend for that?
Okay, seborrheic dermatitis. There is not a cure for it. However, you can live with it and you can keep it at bay, starting with your diet, what you're eating. You want to eliminate any types of foods that have a lot of sodium and a lot of sugar. Cut out the processed food. It also tends to rise up when it comes to stress or change in the season. So you want to make sure that you are eliminating some of those aspects, and to increase water in that. And then with the seb derm, you would do, depending on what the scalp looks like and is going on, a scalp exfoliation may be possible, but not the full in depth to where we're actually brushing on the scalp, because we don't want to irritate it. But huge, I know it was huge back in the day, don't scrape the dandruff and the flakes off your scalp. I know some people used to do that. Don't do that. It makes it worse, okay? And don't have extremely hot water when you're shampooing your hair.
Thank you. Next question is, what moisturizer for your hair do you recommend? Or moisturizer for hair in general?
Moisturizer for hair in general. Two products that I normally tell my clients to utilize, either Main Choice or Maya Organics. They have great moisturizers. Both of those are water-based. But I'm glad you brought that up. Do not moisturize your hair with oil. Oil is a sealant. It is not a moisturizer. It's only going to sit on the hair and the scalp and just clog your pores, and your hair is going to be dry again a day later. But if you want more of like professional based products that we do retail at the salon, just let me know and I can get those for you.
Perfect. Segue into this last question that we have. What is a good product and regimen for getting your natural curls to pop? Pop.
Oh man. Okay. So there's products you can use that will make your curls naturally pop. Can2 or Shea Moisture is probably two of those, but they're terrible because they cause a whole bunch of buildup on your hair, and then that causes a whole nother issue. So the biggest thing with that, embrace the natural curls that you have, and just because they don't look super elongated and just, flying in the wind does not mean that your curls aren't popping. But the easiest way to do it is stick with a flat two-strand twist or flat twist. That's probably going to give you the definition that you're looking for. It does take a little bit more work, but I feel like those are better than just a wash and go, in my personal opinion, because it lasts a little bit longer.
Thank you. Are there any other questions from our viewers for Jasmin? I think, Jasmin, if you can, one viewer asked if you could please put the books in the chat that you recommended. It was Eat Right for Your Blood Type and Food Can Fix It, I believe, but those authors, that would be great.
Coconut oil, throw it away. Throw it away. It is too heavy for your hair. It's way too heavy. It's almost like when you take dirt and you just throw it on a plant, it can't breathe. It cannot breathe. If you have to use an oil for your scalp, use jojoba oil. I'll put it in the chat. I just read that and said trash. Sorry. Jojoba oil. It's lightweight and it mimics the natural sebum that our scalp creates. But coconut oil, olive oil, all the cooking oil, stop putting it in your hair, please. Thanks.
Yes. I believe that's all of our questions. I don't think we have anything else. I'm going to go back and share the screen here. Jasmin, we want to thank you tonight for all of your insights. Tomorrow, ladies, we have Kendra, our glow expert. She's going to be talking about building a basic skin regimen, and same place, same tonight. So thank you for joining us. Thank you, Jasmin, for your expertise. If you have any other questions for Jasmin, you can go on our website where it says contact us. You can direct it directly to Jasmin, and I will make sure that she receives that email. I personally receive all the emails from the website, and I read them all. So please don't hesitate to ask us anything that you may have. And this concludes our session for tonight. When you know, you will glow. So hopefully you've learned something tonight about your body and your hair that you can take home with you and share with your friends and your relatives. So thank you again. And we look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. You got to know, grow. Have a good night, everyone. Control, level up and then know. You gotta know the flow. You've got to know to grow. Gotta get it in control. Level up and let them know. You gotta know. Thanks, everyone, again. When you know, you will glow. We want you to come grow and glow with us. Meet us here tonight, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. We would love to have you, Kendra. We are looking excited for you. Again, thanks again to Jasmin Monay. If you're interested with receiving a consultation with her, meet her at 2911 Salon in Charlotte, North Carolina. She's also on Instagram. So thank you again. Have a great night, everyone. Thanks, Jazz.